Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. Yeah, here in front of our White Mage mentor Raya Osana. So let's see what the Stormblood questline says. Unease in East End. I thought you might come, Serenia of the White. You sense it, yes? The agitation of the elementals? I suggest you present yourself to Brother E-Sumi Yan at Stillglade Fane. He will no doubt welcome your assistance in identifying the origin of his disturbance. Ah, so Brother E-Sumi. We haven't been at Brother E-Sumi with this class since, well, basically since we became a White Mage. So Brother E-Sumi Yan. Serenia? How fortuitous. Ah, Sister Raya Osana directed you to the guild? Glad am I that she did. As I'm sure you have felt yourself, the elementals are in uproar. And whilst I would soon depart on my investigation, the forest's disquiet appears to stem from lands that cannot be approached in blind haste. I speak of East End at the very edge of the Twelveswood. Long has this border betwixt Gridanian and our nation been held by the forces of the Gridanian Empire. The Alliance did recently take control of Balsar's Wall and thus commands the fortifications in East End, but the stability of the region is yet tenuous at best. It would be a far more certain venture were I to have you at my side. Are you willing to make the journey? Of course. Then we need to delay no longer. Let us make our preparations and begin our trek from Camp 9 Ivies. Can't we meet at Balsar's Wall simply? Oh well. Doesn't matter. Brother E-Sumi here in line of sight of Balsar's Wall. Thank you again for coming, Serenia. I arrived some moments earlier and bent my ear to the forest's whispering. Although here it might be better described as a keening. There's no doubt that we are nearer to the source. And I'm also certain we are not alone. Come out. You cannot hide your presence from me. Sylphie? Sylphie. Oh, Sylphie. I should have known you would sense me. Your yearly failures to attend lessons gave me ample practice at finding those who did not wish to be found. Now, am I to assume that you too have been brought here by the plight of the elementals? Yes, Guildmaster. I'm sorry for leaving without permission, but I just had to know what was causing all this commotion. You will return to Stillglade Fane and leave this investigation to Serenia and me. Such is the danger inherent in this task that even I felt compelled to request assistance. Please, Guildmaster, let me help. Never have I heard the voices of the elementals so clearly before. They want to tell me something, I just know it. And it is that very something that I, as Guildmaster, am charged to discover. You, as an acolyte, are neglecting your duties back at the guild. But how can I ignore their pleas? I feel their unease like chains tightening around my chest. Isn't it my duty as a conjurer to protect the forest? Their unease? You truly sense this emotion from the river of their susurrations? And you truly wish to return the forest to tranquility? I swear by the matron herself, I only want to put into practice the lessons you have taught me. A noble pursuit. But if I were to permit this, you must promise to weigh the consequences of your actions before you commit to them. I would not see a repeat of previous incidents. Then I can come? I promise, I'll be careful, and I'll be sure to ask for Serenia's help the moment I need it. See that you do. Now it's past time we brave the borderlands of Gridanian. We can travel as far as Amarissa's spire, then a serpent officer will guide us through ruins of a castle from there. Also a character we haven't seen in forever. Sylphie was our conjurer questline. I wish I could defeat that thing, but not alone. The closer we are to East-End, the more certain I am we are moving in the right direction. The precise location of a disturbance yet eludes me, however. Even from the elementals themselves I sense only confusion. I fear there is naught for it, but to conduct a more conventional search. I will head southeast, Sylphie, see what might be found directly south. Southwest is yours, Serenia. Ah! What are you doing here? Come here this instant! Serenia, what befalls? I felt a surge of panic coming from this direction. Whatever it was, I feel nothing now. Did you see anything? Yeah, a child and I believe his mother? A child out here? By your description, the mother may be a hunter, but I'm curious as to her choice of hunting ground. Could it be their fear which has the elementals so upset? In any case, it seems the answer to that has run off into the brush. Let us return to Custom Orients for the presence and learn more of East-End's inhabitants. Okay. That was weird. This gentleman is an officer stationed at the custom. Maybe he will know more of the mother and child you spotted. And you believe these folks were living in the forest? I was under the impression that the East End settlement was empty. We suspect a connection to whatever is disturbing the harmony of the Twelveswood. Might you spare us some few soldiers to investigate the possibility? Ordinarily, I would be overjoyed to aid in your investigation, but I fear our duties on the border demand our full attention. My most sincere apologies, Master Pajo. How inconvenient. This matter is far from resolved, yet I've already been over long in return to Stillglade Fane. Let me handle it, Guildmaster. You would have me entrust this task to an acolyte? You have matured much in the art, it's true, but I can hardly... The elementals are suffering. Someone has to help them, and I'm sure Serenia could lend a hand if I needed it. What say you, Serenia? I had only intended to involve you in this initial foray, but might I ask that you see the matter through to its conclusion? Of course. My thanks. I foresee hardships ahead, but also an opportunity for new discoveries. Pray look in on Sylphie's progress, even as you continue your own studies. As for you, Sylphie, I expect you to make regular reports on your findings. May the matron watch over you both. guess some time has passed. Oh, hello, Serenia. It's nice of you to worry, but I've been perfectly safe. I asked the soldiers at the wall if I could accompany them on their patrols instead of wandering about on my own. More than a few times I thought I sensed something, the briefest of flickers, but the scouts had their mission and I couldn't risk getting separated from them to confirm my suspicions. I need to check one area in particular, some distance away from the patrol route. Do you think you could come with me? Here, I marked the spot on your map and we can meet there when you're ready. Sylphie? This is the place. Do you feel that? The source must be nearby. Ah! And you're sure it's the same child? I don't know what's going on here, but her aura is blinding. Come on, we have to follow her. Found anything? Now, where did she disappear to? Let's split up for a bit and keep looking. I see a lot of nothing. But here, blind me. What? Shock? Okay. New co-lead. Stay away from me. Mama, where are you? You poor thing, you must be terrified, but don't worry. We'll get you back to your mother. I'm not supposed to talk to stranger. Mama says they'll take me away and lock me in a cage. Is that what she says? Well, I'm Sylphie, and this is Serenia. Now you know our names. Why don't you tell us yours? Then we won't be strangers anymore, right? My name is Scotty. You don't feel icky like the bad things? Well, I hope that means we can be friends. Come on, Gutty, let's go and find your mother. Do you know the way home? I don't have any friends. We live in the forest, just Mama and me. Were you hurt when those creatures attacked? Here, let me see. Ah, I meant that in no time. Watch, a conjurer like me can heal all sorts of wounds. Conjurer? No, don't touch me! There's a surge again, and this time it's far more powerful. Gatti, we have to leave. What? She's gone. Did you see where she went? No, but we barely took our eyes off her. How did she manage to vanish so quickly? She learned the trick from a Moogle, maybe? Ah, well, Moogles certainly are good at disappearing, but I've never heard of them teaching the secret to anyone else. That surge of power I felt is gone as well. I don't think it's a coincidence that it faded as soon as Gatti left. Whenever she panics, I feel her aura just kind of expand, and I think the voidsent senses it too. And I'd wager 3 afternoons of listening to Hira Nell's lectures that the presence of those fiends is what's upsetting the elementals. Right then. It's time we return to Gridania and report our findings to the Guildmaster. Back to Gridania. I did my best to explain to the Guildmaster what happened in East End. I've heard Sylphie's report, and you are both to be commended for pursuing this investigation in so dangerous an area. Judging from the description of Gatti's unusually potent aura, I'm inclined to agree with her theory that it is her energies which are attracting the voidsent. If, as you suspect, the child lives alone with her mother, then it is unlikely she has been trained to control her power. Fear, panic, anger, any strong emotion might cause her ether to flare dramatically. To the ravenous creatures of the void, the scent of such an outburst would be as the sweetest of nectar. So, if Gatti were to learn control, then the problem would be solved, wouldn't it? We have assumed much, but no little. Without understanding the exact nature of the girl's gifts, I hesitate to propose a solution. She said she lived in the forest. I'll head out with a serpent patrol again and see if I can't find her house. A fine idea. Serenia, pray continue lending Sylphie any support she might require. Come on, let's head back to Custom Orients and we talk about what to do next. The Guildmaster's right. We need to learn more about Gatti herself. I mean, how can a little girl like her have a kind of power that attracts voidsent? Well, first things first. I'll need to find where she lives. And then, hopefully, she and her mother will be willing to talk to us. Do you think we'll be facing more fiends before this is all over? I should probably be practicing my spells. Ah, Sylphie, how far you've come. From a little girl who spent her own life force to heal others. Hello, Serenia. I thought you might be along soon. As for Gatti, I've spotted her more than a few times, but she flees the moment she sees me. One thing I learned, though, is that wherever the whispers lead, that's where Gatti is to be found. And since the forest spirits are particularly agitated today, we should have no trouble tracking her down. Come with me to the place we lost her the last time. We can start our search from there. Please, I have to concentrate on the whispers. It's a little difficult to hear them when someone is gabbing in my ear. Why don't you take a look around? It's terribly faint, but I sense a threat of unease leading away from here. Come on, this way. When you're around, I find I can hear the voices of the elementals more clearly. I suppose it's easier to be tranquil when you have a veteran white mage at your side. Let's move on, shall we? The Serpent Scouts don't often venture into this area. I suppose there aren't a lot of Imperial troops wandering around in the muck. Did you see her? I think that might be Gaddy's mother. Come on, let's go. Here at Fletcher's cabin? Is that a home? Oh, I see the golden light. That means there will be a battle. Get away from us, conjurer, or I swear this arrow will find a new home in your meddling heart. Careful, Serenia. She seems awfully angry for some reason. I know why you're here, and you'll not have her. Now, unless you want to sprout feathers, it's time for you to leave. You're Gaddy's mother, aren't you? We're not here to take her away, we're here to help her. I'll not fall for your lies, conjurer. Get away from us. Not now. Mama? No, Gaddy. Well, see you. I'm fine. Just one of my turns. Gaddy, you're a Padgel? Mama, no. You can't. Uh-oh. Voidsent bait. The ether, it's overwhelming. What did I say? And the voidsent have come to feed. We can't let them hurt her. Sylphie still having a one-handed weapon, which would only make sense if she would be wearing a shield, which she doesn't. The fiends are drawn to the girl's energies. I'll take care of the mother. You protect Gaddy and strike down the voidsent. Seriously. Just not. Okay. God, it's hour. It's like a floodgate has opened. There are cracks opening right into the void. That girl in peace. Never enough. For what do I have the lilies, right? Not to use them when I need to heal quickly. Okay. Was it? God, his energy seems spent. I think we're in the clear now. Ooh. Oh, that thing hit hard. And no chance to cancel that summoning. It was far too quick. God, he's fine. Just exhausted from expelling so much ether. She'll wake up after she had a chance to rest. Speaking of which, you should be resting too. Your heart's in bad shape, isn't it? I managed to calm the attack, but the condition itself is beyond my art to heal. It grows worse by the day. I'm grateful for all you've done today, conjurer, but naught has changed. My daughter stays with me. Please, just leave us. Listen to me. We did not come here to whisk away your child. If we'd wanted to, we could have just taken her while you lay senseless. We came to learn what was upsetting the elementals, and what could be done to ease their disquiet, and it seems the answer lies in stopping the voidsent from coming after Gatti. Can you truly stop these monsters from hunting her? The worse my illness becomes, the more often they come sniffing about. Creatures of nightmares they are, with their greedy eyes and gasping claws. We will help you in any way we can. I'm Sylphie and this is Serenia. Please tell us more about Gatti and these monsters. No. No. You Gridanian charlatans are not to be trusted. You saved us this time, it's true. But if you don't go now, the whisper of my bow will be the last thing you'll ever hear. Wait, I'm begging you. We promise not to say anything to the guild. We swear by the matron herself, right, Serenia? The conjurers I met before were arrogant, condescending. You, on the other hand, seem far more sincere. I will take you at your word, for now. My name is Sanche. It was 12 years ago that I fled Gridania with my infant child. She was born a Pajal, and you know what that means. She was chosen by fate, destined to convey the elemental's will to the people of Gridania. The conjurers would have snatched her from my arms and taught her to be a servant of the forest spirits. By Gridanian law, they were well within their rights to do so. But my husband was dead, and Gatti was all I had left. I could not bear to let her go, and so I fled. I can hardly imagine how hard that must have been, living out here in the wilds, raising a child by yourself. But while I can understand the choice you made, Gatti's lack of control over her Pajali powers is putting you both in danger. Ether bleeds from her in a torrent whenever she's upset or afraid, drawing in the voidsent again and again. I hate to say this, but there may come a day when you won't be able to stop them. Is there naught that can be done? We just want to live in peace. Here's an idea. I'll stay with you and teach Gatti how to control her ether. That way I can continue your treatment and solve this problem with a voidsent at the same time. All without telling the Conjurer's Guild, of course. Are you certain, Sylphie? Hello again, Gatti. I used my conjuring to help your mother feel better. Would you like to learn some magic too? Really? You know magic that can help Mama? Please teach me. Thank you. This means so much to us. We can talk more inside the house. I'll walk them inside, then return to custom Orients. I see you back there, Serenia. So I guess I'm not invited in? When is Sylphie coming back? Thank you again for your aid. Gatti talks endlessly about you both, but I suppose that's only natural. I haven't encouraged guests in the past. I'm sorry, I sort of took matters into my own hands there. I know it's a lot to ask, but can you please keep this a secret from the Guild Master for the time being? We should consult Brother E-Sumi Yan, but we promised. Thank you, Serenia. I don't want the guild to take Gatti away from her mother. We've seen what happens when the girl gets upset. And besides, Sanchi may not be long off for this world. Gatti should spend as much time with her as possible. I remember what it was like to lose a loved one. But please, don't think emotion swayed my better judgment. I thought this through and I understand it won't be easy. That's why I need your help. Okay, but I end this episode here. And we continue another time. Probably right next episode. But yeah. Until then, I'm Mace and don't get lost.